Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you from ground up on test documentation to automation how a QA task may be. So let's say that if we are assigned a task that we want to test on the registration at this site. Okay, let me do a walkthrough, right? So let me input the email, right, go through. Right, so this is where we input the personal information. Okay, all the asterisks are mandatory fields. Right, and then we'll click register. So you'll see an error. The password is required. So this could be one of the test case, the set flow, or whichever you call it. So it's alright, I've input the passwords. Let me check the rest of the fields. So far so good. And let's click register. So this registration is successful, and upon successful registration, we'll see this message. Welcome to your account. Here you can manage all your personal information and orders. Okay. So let's look at the test documents. I've created a high-level test plan. Right. One for registering successfully, the other one for filling at the mobile site. So the test plan has a few important components. The entry criteria and the exit criteria. I believe in Agile, we should keep the document as simple as possible and only the essential information and as light as possible. We can modify the test plan from the traditional to fit one that works in our team and not necessarily to follow the standard version. The standard version could be like more than 10 or 20 pages, and I think that those are not suitable in many agile teams where it is very dynamic and fast moving. So you see, we have the tools in here, the test deliverables. So those are actually repeatable. And the use case assumption, right? This could change in every sprint, and the dependency, which could change in every sprint. So this is the very minimum test plan, which I felt should be in the agile sprint. And we can actually move on to the test case. So if you remember the happy flow where we register successfully, so this is one of the test cases. So we have the test case ID, title, objective, dependency, the steps, expected results. For example, in the steps, we click on sign up in the top menu. We input the email. We click the register buttons, and it should bring the user information page. And we'll need to fill in all the mandatory fields, which is marked by asterisk. Alright, and click on the register button. That will bring to the successful page. And we need to verify this message. And once that is done, and if that is correct, the test passed. Okay, so for the second one, which just now you see that there was an error where I forgot to input the password. So let's do it for the mobile phone. So the steps are the same. It's almost all similar, except for step number 4. So we should allow all fields to be filled in, but we do not fill in the mobile field itself. So that this should actually produce an error, alright? So this error would actually comes out to be, you must register at least one phone number. Okay. So this is a part for the documentation, and we can move on to the next fun part. Now let's go to GitHub. Right. You can see the URL link in the YouTube description below. Please refer to the README file. That is very important. You'll see the instruction, what libraries you need to make the script works, and also where the files are located. Right. So these are all very important. You'll need to read it first. So click on the clone or download if you do not have a GitHub account. So once you download it, you'll be in the zip file and open your Eclipse IDE. Okay. So in here I already have the project, but if you do not have it, you can actually unzip the zip file and import existing project into workspace and select the unzip files that you have, and then you click finish, and it should actually appear as such as these folders. Okay, so there are two test cases. One is scenario 1, which is a happy flow, and the other is scenario 2, which is a sad flow where I forgot to input my mobile phone numbers. You can run them separately using the play buttons or in the command prompt or terminal if you are using Mac. Okay. So before running the test, you need to make sure that the libraries are installed. All the libraries are installed. This is defined in the POM XML files. So just run this and click install. It will take a while, right, while it's downloading and installing the libraries for the first time. Okay. There are a few things that you'll need to change to make the script run. First, the configuration. Right, the configuration Java files. Okay. You need to change here. Anything that the commands put change here, you got to change. Alright. This is a path from the Chrome driver. You have to change them according to what suits where you put the Chrome drivers. Right. Same goes for the Firefox driver. Okay. Okay. So in scenario 1 or scenario 2, okay, you have got to decide whether you want to have a random email generated or the email read from Excel. So the email can be read from the user data, which is actually in Excel file, or it can be randomly generated. And we'll go down. Okay. You will also need to state where is the path of your user data. So the user data contains all the information that the user wants, for example, first name, last name, address, phone numbers, company name, etc. So you could actually put it somewhere, but you need to actually state where is the path. So let's scroll down, make sure that's okay. So that's basically all. So basically you just need to see this comment, change here, right? This comment, this style comments, and you need to change accordingly. Okay. So let's, before moving on, let's open up the Excel files. Okay. Right. So this is the test data that I have. Okay, so the test data is where it contains, for example, like emails in here. This one is the mails, first name, last name, password, etc. And so the scripts will actually pick up from here. So you can actually input as many different variants of data and run it from the script. The script does not need to be changed in most instances. And you can focus on just changing the test data. And if you do not know what those test data means, let me open it up for you. Okay, just give me a moment. Alright. So these are actually this is actually in the same folder in the template user data. So you can see all all this represents what? You need to put them in a straight order so that as the script actually picks them out one by one in here. Okay. So the folders are actually arranged in this manner. For example, the documents is where I put the data, the test plan, the test cases, and the user data, that's where I put the data, sorry about that. So the template data, alright, and this is the POM files, and this is the scripts itself. Okay. Alright, so now we can actually run the test. So there are two ways to run the test. I can use the terminal or your command prompt in Windows, or the play button. So I want to run the first scenario 1, where it's a happy flow. So let me run it through the terminal. Right, that is for the first scenario. So you see the script is running. And you actually input the email and fill in all the data, all the fields, and click register. And it's done. So you can actually check that, alright, it passes. You actually check on this. Welcome to your account. Here you can manage all your personal info. So this is actually done through the last part on the validate the account title data. Which is in here. So you actually validate the data, right? The title. So that's what you get, and so it will pass. Okay. So for the second one, which is the set flow, where you actually fail because we do not want to input the mobile phone numbers, we will actually use the IDE and run from the play button. Okay. Here it goes. And it does exactly the same thing, see, except the mobile phone. And so it will check these strings. It's similar to the previous test, except that you will check these strings. And you can come in here. That it actually passes the test because it's expected to fail. So let's see. So you check through, you actually validate the error message. So this is where you validate the error message. Okay, yeah. Alright. So this is a conclusion for this video presentation, and this is Ivan speaking. Thank you very much.